हाय गाइस। आज मैं उदित कपूर आपका होस्ट आपका दोस्त आपको सिखाने वाला हूँ कि हाउ विल वी सेट अप पाइथन इन आवर सिस्टम एंड हाउ विल वी सेट अप जुपिटर नोटबुक। तो फर्स्ट स्टेप बहुत इजी है। वी गो टू आवर ब्राउजर, वी टाइप पाइथन एंड python.org पहली साइट है जहाँ हमें जाना है। इसमें हम जाएंगे डाउनलोड्स टैब में और सबसे लेटेस्ट वर्जन फॉर विंडोज, अगर आप मैक पे हैं आप मैक का कर लीजिए। डाउनलोड पाइथन 3.9.1। इसको आप कहीं भी कन्वीनियंट लोकेशन पे कर लीजिए। मैं डेस्कटॉप पे कर रहा हूँ और सेव। छोटी सी फाइल है 26.9 MB की एंड वंस इट डाउनलोड्स देन वी कैन स्टार्ट इंस्टॉलिंग। मैं रन पे क्लिक करूंगा और अब वो मुझसे ये पूछेगा इंस्टॉल नाउ। आपकी डिफॉल्ट डायरेक्टरी में आराम से पिप और आइडल इंस्टॉल हो जाएंगे। अब ये सेटअप इंस्टॉल करेगा पाइथन मेरे पीसी में। मेरा पीसी 64 बिट है इसलिए वो 64 बिट इंस्टॉल हो रहा है। जैसा कि आप देख सकते हैं सेटअप वॉज सक्सेसफुल लिखा आ गया है। अब अगर किसी को चेक करनी है कि उसके लैपटॉप या उसमें पाइथन इंस्टॉल्ड है या नहीं, तो आप स्टार्ट मेन्यू खोलेंगे और cmd टाइप करेंगे। कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट खोलेगा। आप यहाँ पे सिंपल पाइथन टाइप करके देखिए। अगर पाइथन का करंट वर्जन आपको सही से आता है तो देन आपकी पाइथन करेक्ट इंस्टॉल हुई है। अगर नहीं तो सिंपल ये स्टेप्स दोबारा रिपीट करें और डिफॉल्ट इंस्टॉलेशन में ऐड टू पाथ चेक क्लिक करना ना भूलें। अब आगे बढ़ते हैं और हमें इंस्टॉल करना है जुपिटर नोटबुक। तो हम अपने ब्राउजर में जाके जुपिटर नोटबुक सर्च करेंगे एंड सबसे पहले jupyter.org वेबसाइट खुलेगी। इसके अंदर हम अपना इंस्टॉल टैब खोलेंगे और हमारे पास दो इंस्ट्रक्शंस आती हैं, इंस्टॉल विद कोंडा, इंस्टॉल विद पिप। हमें इंस्टॉल विद पिप करना है। यहाँ से हम ये कमांड कॉपी करेंगे और अपना कमांड प्रॉम्प्ट लेंगे। इधर हम एक कमांड टाइप करेंगे पाइथन स्पेस -m और उसके बाद हम ये कमांड जो हमने अपने ब्राउजर से ली है पिप इंस्टॉल जुपिटर लैब, और यहाँ हम एंटर कर देंगे। अब इसको थोड़ा टाइम लगेगा, आपकी इंटरनेट स्पीड पे है। ये जुपिटर लैब कलेक्ट करेगा और ऐसे सारे पैकेजेस डाउनलोड कर लेगा। वंस वी हैव इंस्टॉल्ड दी जुपिटर लैब पिप using pip and command prompt, what we'll do is we'll type python -m and we'll write the command notebook, and when we press enter our Jupyter notebook will be open. Here we can go to any directory you want. I'm going to create mine on desktop and I am going to create a new Python 3 notebook. This will give me my notebook. Here we'll continue in the next lecture where we'll learn what are the basics of Python. Hello and good evening everyone. My name is Udit Kapoor and I will be guiding you all live in this stream. We will continue this pattern of first showing the video and then a live question and answer session with you guys. There will be a different instructor every day. If there are any questions that you have regarding the event or the Python setup we just showed, ask them in the comments now. You can watch this video any time of the day you want, as it will be uploaded to YouTube right after the premiere. Okay, the most common question we have been getting is, when will the video be released? The video will be released every day at 7 p.m. on the same platform. We'll be sharing the link both via email and WhatsApp messages. Be sure to join our WhatsApp group. Second important question that we have been getting in the past few days is, how will you get the certificate? So the criteria for getting a certificate is very easy. You have to score at least 50% in the cumulative score of two quizzes that will be held. For example, if you score 5 out of 20 in the first quiz and you score 15 out of 20 in the next, Your cumulative score would be 20 out of 40, which is still 50%, and we will issue you a certificate. Then we have the tiering of certificates in 3 different levels: bronze, gold, and platinum, that we have specifically mentioned in the rules. If you guys like and comment on our video as soon as and obtain 50% criteria, we will provide you with a gold certificate, which is gold tier. And if you put a screenshot of you following along with us and watching the stream and coding along with us on your social media handles by tagging us, we will provide you a platinum tier certificate, providing you fulfill all the other criteria like commenting, liking, and actually scoring 50%. Next, we know that our score would be printed on the certificate that you guys will be receiving. So if you score 50%, your certificate will actually hold the number 50%. Okay. The next question that we have been getting is there any cost related with this? No, this is completely free, and it is something that we the students of the North Cap University have been planning for a while now, and now are bringing you this 15-day series in which you'll follow along and get your basics set in Python. If there are any other questions regarding the show that you guys have, please surely ask them in the chat. Okay, why minus m? So it's a very good question. If we don't use minus m, actually, the CMD doesn't know where to install the Jupyter package, and it installs in the default directory. Sometimes what happens is the installation would be completely fine, but in advanced packages like NumPy, when you try and go to the Jupyter notebook and try and import them, they'll show you an error that there's no module named NumPy. And if you do pip install NumPy without the -m, and still it would show that the module is actually existing, but it's not in the directory. That's why, to avoid that, in our further tutorials and every video, we have used -m command in CMD. Will the quiz be held after every no so the quiz is, there will be 2 quizzes. One will be held after the first 50% of the course when it is completed, that is the first 8 days. It will happen on that. You will be given 24 hours to attempt the quiz, but you can only attempt the quiz once. You cannot re-attempt the quiz. The quiz will be open for 24 hours. So if you're a student, if you are a professional, if you are one of the faculties who are following us, there will be no time constraint. You can give it entirely any time in the 24 hours, but you have to give it in one go. There will be 2 quizzes, and we'll be getting the scores from the platform that will take the quiz on, and then we'll combine them. Is Jupyter necessary for idle? Actually, Jupyter is just an IDE. What we can do is you can use Notepad and save your code in .py format. You can use VS Code, which is a very popular IDE. You can use Jupyter Notebooks, and you can also use Google Collaboratory, which is completely online, and you don't have to install anything on your laptop, PC, or whatever device you're trying Python on. But we have chosen Jupyter as because we have been taught on Jupyter, and we have almost everyone, all of our instructors being very comfortable with Jupyter. So all of our videos from here on now will be on Jupyter. If you are comfortable with any other IDE, we have no restrictions. You can install Visual Studio Code. You can install PyCharm. We don't have any issues. Can we do it on Python idle? Yes, Shruti, you can do it on Python idle, but once the code gets a little longer and complex, you'll be faced with multi-line codes and functions and modules. That is where you'll have a slight issue with ideally of Python. That is why we recommend you use Jupyter Notebook or any other idle, any other IDE that you have, or you can even use Notepad. That's completely fine, but we would not recommend ideally of Python. Would we receive any project task? Actually, we have uploaded a lot of projects for college students and students who want to actually make something via Python on this channel. You can search anime recommender, you can search a lot of other projects via Python, but for completing this course, we don't have any project requirements or project tasks that you have to do. The only criteria is 50% score in the 50% score in the quizzes, and quizzes would be of a different format. We'll let you know in advance, but it would contain MCQ and coding questions, uh, which we'll let you know and we'll prepare you for them. Further, there are no project tasks as such. You can use, if you want to make something with Python, you're glad we have a lot of videos on that on this very channel. You can search for them. Is this all course enough for Python? To be honest, I'll answer that question. That for Python, Python is a very, very large. Think of it as an encyclopedia with different volumes, like 5 to 10 different volumes. It's very vast, and you can never actually learn complete Python, so as to say. But this 15 days would be to make a strong foundation of you in Python. Yes, you will be able to write code in Python. Yes, you'll be able to run that code. You'll be able to do very interesting things like web scraping, which we have planned for you guys. You'll be able to play with stats with NumPy. But if you want to learn more, yes, we'll set you up with the basics. But if you want to learn extreme level, we'll also provide that in the comment section, the repository or the documents that support uh, advanced Python. How many libraries will be covered? So we'll be covering a lot of libraries. It will be, if you have seen our syllabus, you can actually check from that. If not, I'll let you know. We'll be actually starting with the basics like data types, what are data types, functions, how to define functions, what are lists, dictionaries. So these are the basic data types of Python, which are very essential, as you may or may not know. We'll guide you there. And when we move on a little advanced, like in the 10 to 15 days range, yes, we'll be covering NumPy. Yes, we'll be covering web scraping. So yes, there will be HTTP libraries involved. How about Spider? Yes, you can use Spider. In my opinion, Spider is a very resource hungry IDE. If you use it on your laptop or if you use it on a PC that's not up to the mark, you might face some lags and stuff like that. That is why we have used Jupyter Notebook, because it's universal and fast. Same goes with any IDE. If you want, you can use any IDE. We don't have any issues. What did you type in search box? Yes, I'll let you know. You can also rewind this video, and we'll be uploading it on the YouTube platform so that you can pause wherever you feel like and also ask questions in the comments. So we'll be replying to you. And I first wrote Python in my search box, so that I went to python.org and downloaded Python, installed it. Then I wrote Jupyter lab in my browser search box, and you will go to jupyter.org, and then you will be able to go to install. If you at any point in the course feel like it's going too fast, all you have to do is rewind, go back and watch. If you want, you can always slow down the speed using YouTube settings, and that will be available, obviously. I am studying computer science in second year for me. Yes, it's a course for everyone. We have no age restrictions. We have no college restrictions. We don't have any locality restrictions. Even if you are in India, outside India, first year, second year, third year, maybe a school student, 10th, 11th, 12th, maybe industry professional who wants to brush up on Python or maybe start with Python, we will be using Python and teaching. You will teach basic in Python or advanced level. So the course curriculum that we have devised, I have already shared it with the groups and emails. If you haven't received it, we'll send it again. So we'll be the first 10 days, 7 to 10 days, we'll be covering the basics like lists, comprehension lists, and dictionaries and strings and data types and variables. We'll start from the very basic. And in the last 5 days, that's 10 to 15, that is where we'll get a little advanced concepts like error handling, file handling, how do we read CSV, how do we write a CSV file, how do we actually use web scraping, like how do you get what are the get and post requests, how do you actually use numpy in stats. So we are covering all that, and the video length is actually how important the topic is. So since setup only took 3 minutes, that's very fine. But if suppose there's NumPy, so we'll be taking a good amount of time in covering NumPy. Whereas if there's something like dictionary, we'll be covering that in 10 minutes or so. And we'll try and provide an instructor every time for Q&A after every video so that you guys can ask your questions like this live and get your answers. Will we be able to understand and solve question of Python based subject? So that only depends on what level or grade you're studying. If you're studying in somewhere like 11th or 12th or first or second year, yes, you'll be able to completely answer all the questions and know the basics of Python as well as NumPy and stats, which is used in applied computational statistics and many other. In my third semester, I had a Python course, and if I had done these 15 days, I would have been able to crack that semester happily. So, in my opinion, yes, you guys will be able to answer and understand and solve questions for Python based subjects. Enough for subjects like ACS. So for ACS specifically, we have a NumPy library, which has a lot of statistics. But if you want to, you'll be able to write code, you'll be able to understand what those statistic means, you would know the functions. And but if it's an exam and it's theory paper, there'll be a lot of concepts you should focus in class as well. Is this course enough for beginners who are new learners like me? Yes, Shruti, anybody who's new to Python is the absolute person who can benefit most from this course. I'm not saying that other people won't be able to benefit, but someone who needs to know actually what is Python and how do we install Python. And we have just heard Python being said around us, but we don't actually know what Python is. So you'll be going through all that in the first 10 days, and the last 5 days we'll be trying and teach you some important and complex concepts. Daily, how much time will you teach? So daily at 7 p.m. we'll be releasing a video like today we did. The length of the video would be variable. So if it's something as easy as setting up Python, it would be a short video like 3 minutes that you watched in the starting of this live stream that we are doing. And if this and slowly we'll be increasing the lengths as the topics get more complex. Like for list, we'll be using 5 to 10 minutes, and then dictionaries will be having 10 minutes. Then as the complex things approach and we try and tackle them, the video length will be increasing to 20 minutes and 25 minutes or so. And the maximum video length would be of NumPy. That would be our day 15, since it's okay. As yes, as I can see, questions are done. Will I'll remind you guys that the minimum criteria is 50% in both cumulative quiz uh, to get the bronze certificate. If you guys want something like a gold certificate, you guys would have to like and comment on each and every video. The comment format would be there, so nothing like okay or something that YouTube might consider as spam. You would have to write the summary of what you learned in those uh, minutes, like 3 to 5 minutes or whatever time we teach you, so that once you type it and write it on your own, it will get embedded in your brain. And if it's embedded in your brain, then you'll be able to learn something. Because if you see me talking and just see the video, you'll be like, it's done. And that's not how Python or coding works. You'll have to do it yourself, and then if you write it and put it on our comments, you'll get the summary uh, right in your brain, and you'll be eligible for higher tiers of uh, our program. I have another question. Where can we rate ourselves in Python after this course on a scale of 10? In my opinion, on a scale of 10, you'll be able to be at least a 7, because I would consider Python the basics as the first 5, and the last 5 videos would be the additional 7 to 8 where you'll be able to rate it, and the last two would be on your determination and your hard work as to how much you follow up on the bonus content and how much you follow the documentation and how much depth you guys need in Python. I'll be recommending a 7 or 8 out of 10 in that area. Will we be able to solve any problem on CodeChef after this course? Will it be enough to, or we have to study more? You will be able to solve a lot of problems on CodeChef, at least the first basic problems that we have. The higher the depth of the problem is, the more time it will take. That's something you know. And yes, you'll be able to solve at least half of those problems, but the problems in which complex things are being used, like hash map or really complex DSA, like graphs and stuff, those you'll still need to learn and figure out about. Uh, I already have Anaconda, as our professor took the Python lecture on it, but he didn't ask us to download Python. Do I need to download Python separately for Jupyter Notebook? Is suffice. Actually, what Anaconda does is, Anaconda is a very beautiful thing. What it does is it automatically downloads Python. It automatically downloads Jupyter Notebook. It automatically downloads Spider ID along with a bunch of things. So you have nothing to worry about if you have Anaconda installed. All you have to do is open Conda and go to the Jupyter Notebook. If you prefer Spider as your ID, you can go there. Anaconda is absolutely fine. What exactly are the certificate and how are they different in the certificate that you mentioned? That's it. Okay, so I'll tell you, each and every certificate that we will send out will have your score on it, right? So if you score 50% in the cumulative quiz, you'll be eligible for a certificate, right? If you score like something 20% or 30% in the both quiz combined, you won't be receiving a certificate from us. If you have a score greater than or equal to 50%, suppose you have a 65%, so you'll get a certificate that states your name and how much score have you scored in these 15 days of Python. And then there is tiering. Once you cross the barrier of 50%, then there are tiers of certificate. One is bronze, in which you do not like our video, you don't comment, you don't share anywhere. You just come, you just learn, and you give the quiz, and you get the bronze certificate. If you guys like and comment on our video, and how do you comment? In a format of summary, like providing the summary of what has been taught. If you completely do that, you get a certificate of gold, gold tier. Then we have the platinum tier, which has the requirements of, yes, 50% compiled marks. Second, you have to like and comment on our video. Comment would be in summary type. And the third thing you would have to do is you would have to take a photo of yourself or your computer or your laptop and post it on your social media handles, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, wherever you guys are active, Twitter, and tag us. We have our social handles right in the description box. You can check out from there, or we'll be sending you an email, and that contains our social media handles. You tag us and add the photos of what you have been doing and following along, and then you'll qualify for the platinum level tier certificate. And just to clear the air, at the end of these 15 days, the top scorers, yes, that's the top three scorers who will be having 95% or 100%. Basically, the top three scorers would be invited for a live that we'll do on YouTube. We'll be providing them with their certificate live on YouTube. That will be the surprise you guys will be getting, because a live platform where you and all of our instructors, the core team, the teachers involved would be present in that live, and you'll be facilitated. How will different levels of certificate matter to us? I mean, the bronze, gold, or platinum certificate. Okay, that's a good question. Think of these certificates as a tier of your dedication and a tier of how much you follow along, because to be honest, online teaching is a little dicey, as you all know. So it's a way of us keeping a track of as to how much you are actually learning. So if you write the summary in the comments, we know that it gets embedded in your brain. If you are posting on social media, we know that you guys are serious about this course and are willing to spread it to the world and spread it to the community. And you guys also help your friends who register a little late. That's fine. If they can cope up and still score, we'll be still providing the certificate. So share this and share the form. Okay, I guess there are no more questions, and I have answered almost all of the basic to advanced question, either related to Python or our course. Uh, that is where we'll be ending our stream. This stream will be uploaded right on our YouTube channel. So if you want to just learn the Python, so you can watch the first 3 to 5 minutes and actually pause and follow along with us. If you want to see the question answers, yes, this part will also be available. And after you have done that, we'll be expecting a lot of questions and summary from you guys in the comments, and we'll keep an eye. And we'll be taking a look at our Instagram and LinkedIn profiles. If you guys have tagged us, we'll be sure to comment and reply. That's it from our side. This initiative is an initiative of Python Warriors, which is a special interest group of IEEE IES, the North Cap University Student Branch Chapter. And I am Udit Kapoor, the chair of Python Warriors and vice chair of IEEE IES. Thank you.